My question is also for the Leader of the Government, Senator Cormann. Senator Cormann, in your response just then to Senator Keneally's question, firstly, you say there's no secret deal. Senator Lambie says she'd only support the government's proposal on the basis of a secret deal. You say those two things are inconsistent. How are they? You say those two things are consistent. How are they consistent?
Senator Cormann.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Senator Lambie did not say what Senator Natale alleged. Senator Natale is verballing Senator Lambie with the greatest of respect, and therefore I reject the premise of the question.
Senator Natale, a supplementary question.
Look at this. Minister, has there been an exchange of letters between a Minister of the Crown and Senator Lambie relating to the repeal of the medevac legislation? And if so, do those letters contain any undertakings by either party that go beyond the repeal of the medevac legislation?
Senator Cormann.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Firstly, I will not go into private conversations with crossbench senators.
Order. Order.
We never do. And that applies to conversations with Senator Di Natale in the same way as it applies to conversations with Senator Wong, as it applies to any other conversations. What I can say is that there has been no deal to change any policy on border protection
Senator
or
Cormann,
anything else.
Senator Di Natale on a point of order.
Mr. President, there was no preamble. It was a very direct question. Has there been an exchange of letters? No, he didn't say no.
Well,
he didn't say
Senator
no.
Di Natale, with all
has
due
there
respect,
been an exchange of letters? And I haven't finished.
No, what is the point of order, though, Senator Di Natale? It can't be that you don't like the answer. It needs to be about direct relevance.
Point of order is on relevance. Has there been an exchange of letters? And if so, are there any undertakings that go beyond the repeal of the medevac legislation? It's a very straightforward question.
I give senators advance warning that when we come back next year, I'm going to be much more strict on simply people standing up, saying relevance and reading out a question again, because I did ask you to come to the direct and you simply restated the question, Senator Di Natale. I'll come to you in a moment, Senator Wong. I'd like to rule on this unless you're making a submission on this point. Senator Wong.
I'm making a submission on the ruling you just made, Mr. President. Whilst I understand it is inconvenient for the government for questions to be restated, I again submit to you, and I would ask if you intend to change this procedure, that you take submissions and engage with all parties to this place, that it is relevant to a claim that a minister is not being directly relevant to restate that aspect of the relevant aspect of the question. And so simply, with respect, Mr. President, simply dismissing points of order on the basis that we are restating the question is, in my submission, unfair and inconsistent with the standing order. So I would like the opportunity for all parties to make submissions if you intend to change the procedure.
I did not say one could not restate the question. I simply said that someone can't get up, yell the word relevance and then read out the question again. I want a point of order to draw the point as to why the answer is not directly relevant. That requires a little bit of effort and is an effort that most senators go to the trouble of. Simply the word relevance and then restating it is not sufficient to comply with the standing orders. On this, Senator Di Natale, in your submission yourself then, you alluded to the fact that you did not like what the minister was saying in response. I do not believe— can I make my ruling before the interjections start? And then I'll take more submissions. My point is that the minister— I cannot instruct him how to answer a question. I cannot instruct him to address a particular part of a question. Your question was specific. In my view, he was being specific in the answer, even if that was not the answer sought, and there is an opportunity to debate that after question time. Senator Cormann.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Let me say again, we provided Senator Lambie with detailed briefings at a classified level. We did not provide any undertakings to change policy on border protection or resettlement arrangements or on anything else in order to secure the support of Senator Lambie for the legislation that went through the Senate earlier today. Senator Lambie, as she has stated, raised various issues to us. She raised various issues to us. She put a proposal to us. And what we did is we provided detailed briefings, detailed explanations of what we were already doing.
Time for the answers expired. Senator Di Natale, a final supplementary question.
And a simple yes or no answer would be fine here, Minister. Did you provide an exchange of letters with Ms. Lambie, Senator Lambie, and if so, did those letters go beyond the repeal of the medevac legislation?
Senator Cormann.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Well, firstly, I did not. Secondly, again, the government has not made any commitments at all to change policy on border protection, on resettlement arrangements or anything else in order to secure the vote of Senator Lambie. What we have done is provide detailed briefings, detailed information about what the policies of the government are at a secret level, at a classified secret level.
Senator Natale on a point of order.
Just to be, rather than point of order on relevance,
Yep.
Just being a bit tricky with answers. The minister's representing the Prime Minister. My question is asked on behalf of him as a representative of the Prime Minister. So did the minister, as a representative of the Prime Minister, did he or the Prime Minister provide an exchange of letters?
At the commencement of your original question, I thought, and I'm happy to be corrected, you addressed it to Senator Cormann as a leader of the government. I've given you the opportunity to specify that. I think in this case, with respect, the minister is being directly relevant by providing information that I considered to be directly relevant to your very specific question, but I am listening carefully to ensure he stays within those bounds, and I believe he is. Senator Cormann.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Let me say again, we provided detailed information and briefings at a classified secret level to Senator Lambie. In the end, Senator Lambie was satisfied that the repeal of the medevac legislation was in the public interest and voted for it. We did not make any undertakings to change policy on border protection or resettlement arrangements or anything else in return for a vote to support the medevac repeal legislation. I will take on notice to assess whether there is anything else that we can provide you in response to that question. But let me just say again, there is no deal. All there was an explanation of why the medevac repeal legislation was important and necessary.